Work? Yes. Okay, so we're going to do a yoga session this evening of a yoga flow that we're creating from a sun salute. So it's a little bit vigorous. My plan is to do that, keep moving towards it, build up to it, increase it, expand it, and then slow down and quieten off towards the end of the class. So you'll get a longer relaxation at the end. So if we could come to standing. Okay, let's just do some quick warm-ups. Always helps to warm up a little. And just feel how those hip joints are as you warm up. They're feeling a very stiff. You can hold on to something and actually do big hip swings, clockwise and anti-clockwise. That really helps that hip joint. That might help you. Okay, and then swing a little from side to side, just feeling the hip joint in that way, and then backwards and forwards, just feeling that. So the hip joint, you know, it's that socket, femur going into the socket. And if you have very tight sockets, you've not got a lot of movement in that joint. And some people have very shallow sockets. Okay, and then stretching up, feet quite wide apart, just reach up, and we're going to do some gentle side stretches. So do what you feel able. Going over to one side and coming up and going over to the other side. Yeah. So you probably don't do enough stretches in the day. I'd take the feet at 10 to 2 if I were you. And over. So 12 o'clock is straight in front, this way. And 10 to 2 is the direction the toes are pointing. And trying not to come down with that top shoulder, trying to really make sure it is stretching your flank of your torso. Okay, good. And open up into star pose a moment. Lovely. And then try to reach. Okay, and when we go into star pose, remember the head and the tailbone. We'll count them as 2 extra limbs, 6-limbed pose. Okay, and reach a bit more. That's good. Yes. Okay, shoulders down. And then turn the light bulbs. Okay, good. Breathe in, hands up to the top and back. Shoulder joint work, coming back. Mind the lampshades. Okay, and then forwards. So how does that feel in the shoulder joint? Is it all right?
Yeah.
I'm amazed these lampshades have actually survived. Been hit so many times.
We like something made in a school,
Don't they?
kids' clubs.
I think they were best habitat at one stage.
Were they? Right.
So then it moved to IKEA. Product placement. Okay, and then just to get that shoulder rotating well, a bit of belly dancing. How does that feel?
Cracky.
Yeah. Okay, and then so it's doing that hurt me when I was swimming.
Across the
Well, here for me,
Yeah.
just in there. So just feeling your way into it. Imagine you're swimming down the pool. Anybody else find it ouchy? No, just me. Okay, it's definitely something up with me. Okay, and then just swing for a moment. And standard Tadasana. So pausing with the feet underneath those hip joints. Dropping the hands, front of the head lifting. Pausing. So I'm going to do one round of Sun Salute, both sides. You can do it with me if you wish, if you know the Sun Salute. And if you don't, just watch, because we're then going to elaborate on Surya Namaskar. Okay, so I'm going to do it sideways on, going to the side of my mat. Top end. So everybody comes to the top end. So do you think you've done Sun Salute before? Might be good to just watch this first run through, because normally I spend a lot of time teaching this. So standing, breathing in, arms up, and arm down. Breathe in, opening up, looking up to the heavens. Breathing out, coming down to the ground. Soften the knees. And then breathe in, take your left foot back. Breathe forward. Breathe out, both feet back into downward facing dog. And then breathe in, plank. Breathe out, down into the reverse Shavasana, corpse pose. Then nose along the mat, chin along the mat, up we come, breathing in. Keep the elbows in, tuck the toes under, breathe out. Downward facing dog again, and then see that left foot. See if we can jump it forward. Okay, looking forward. And then bring the other foot to mate it. Then the knees and coming up. All right. How was that?
Not bad.
So just follow along. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it facing onwards. So again, in front of your mat. Breathing in, up we go. Breathing out and down. Breathing in, dropping the arms, opening up. Back arch, comfortable back arch, not too much. Breathing out, coming down. Forward bend, bending the knees. And this time the right foot's going to go. So breathe in, right foot back, looking up. And breathe out, both feet back into downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And then breathe in, nice plank. And breathe out, coming down, elbows tucked in, flatten the tops of the feet. Breathe in, nose along the mat, chin along the mat, up we go. Into the cobra. And then tuck the toes under, back into downward facing dog. And then jump that right foot forward. If you can't jump it forward, put the left knee on the ground, lift it forward into starter position. Breathe out, both feet together. And the knees, breathe in and come up. Back arch, breathe out and down. Okay. Was that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so don't overdo it because we're now going to start playing with that a little. All right. So starting at the front of your mat again. Nice steady mountain. Tadasana. Round of the head lifting up, hands hanging. Nice and steady. So you'll feel your body weight kind of shifting left, right, forwards, back, almost imperceptibly. Chin slightly down. Drop the shoulders. And just let's feel that steadiness deep into the earth. Check your ankle. If it's pronating, collapsing inwards, straighten it. And if it's collapsing outwards, bring it into the center. We'll just stand there for a moment, enjoying the pose. Steady, immovable, unshakable. Wonderful mountains. Okay, and breathing in, let's take the arms up off the head. And breathing out, down to the heart. And then breathing in, lifting and back into that back arch, and just pause there for a moment. So just check you're not overdoing it. Looking up, open the throat. But make sure the head's not falling backwards. And then bend the knees as you come down into the forward bend. Okay. And just pause there for a moment. Release the hands and hold on to the elbows. So remember, all these forward bends are lovely and soothing and calming. They help to lift the mind, bring more positive energy, clearing, opening. So From there, I'd like you to step back with your left foot and just put the knee on the ground for the moment, okay? Flatten the back foot. So here we are, and we're coming up. Okay, now if you're feeling unsteady, you can use this back foot to steady you out, give a little bit more support. And we're looking up through our hands, and the palms are facing each other. And then, so gently, we've got one pregnant student in the class, so gently, if you're pregnant, arching back a little, okay. So it's part of the half moon poses. And then breathing out, come down and rest the hands on the knees for a moment. And just check that you've got a nice right angle in that front leg. Yeah. Lovely. Breathing into that. Okay, and then for the lulls, move that front foot forward and bend deeper into the pose. So I'm still trying to make sure that my knee doesn't go over my toes. Clasp the hands together and turn sideways on. And technically the forearms are parallel to the ground. You'll feel a lovely stretch here. Okay. And hopefully the torso is more or less upright. Okay, breathe in, take the hands up and look up again, up through the hands. Again, back arch a little before we go all the way down to both sides of the foot. So in that starter position, looking up and breathe out, take that foot back. And now down in downward facing dog. So breathing into that for a moment. And on the next in-breath, lift the left foot. Bring pelvis fairly level.
Oh, right.
Breathe out and down. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, coming to plank. Breathe out, down. Forehead to the floor, and just bend the knees and bring the feet towards your pelvis.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. And then swing the hands back and come up into the locust position. So the legs are going out straight behind you. So be really, yeah, I wouldn't rest. This is resting the weight on the wrong place. Oh, you just watch. Here's marks at 10, 11, I think. And then bring the hands back. And then you can come up into a lifted cobra. So you don't have pressure on the belly there. That's nice. We're looking up. And then swinging back before we go right up. Back into the long swan stretch. Breathe in, coming forward. Breathe out, swan stretch. Breathe in, forward. Breathe out, swan stretch. Breathe in, forward. And then what I'd like you to do is go into downward facing dog. On the next in-breath, raising the right leg to the heavens. Okay. Keep breathing into it. Hopefully having even weight through your hands, though you'll find that you're tipping possibly onto your right hand. Not too much through the right hand. But lifting without turning the pelvis if you can help it. Okay, breathing out and down, back into downward facing dog. And then, was it the left foot we jumped back? Yeah, I think it was. So it's coming forward. So if you find jumping like that too difficult, how about putting the right knee down and bringing the left foot forward, looking forward. Okay. Then put the right knee on the ground, flatten the foot. Here we go. Looking up. Curving back a little if you can. Part of the moon. Poses. Lovely. And then coming down onto the knee for a moment. Pause. And just stretch that foot a bit more forward. Jiggle, jiggle. Lovely. Pause. Lift the crown of the head upwards. Breathe in, bring the hands together at the heart, and breathe out, turn the opposite way. So turning to look to the right. And try to have the forearms, if you can, parallel to the ground. And if you're building up heat and feeling a bit hot and sticky, that's quite normal for this yoga flow, this vinyasa. Then coming back to the front. And breathe in, back we go. Up and back. Breathing out, both hands down. Either side of that left foot. Tuck the toes under at the back. One step forward. Bend the knees generously. Hold on to the elbows, dropping into a fairly comfortable forward bend, hopefully. Okay, bend the knees further as though you're sitting on a stool, looking forward. Place the hands onto the knees and push and come up using the thighs. Open out, back arch. And then breathe out and down to the sides. Okay. Yes. And then wipe the sweat away. Was that energetic?
Yeah.
Energetic? Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to do the other side, but interestingly, we're not going to do a repetition of that. If you want to do a repetition of that, you can watch the video and do it on the right side. I'm going to lead to another one. You doing all right? Yeah. Okay, watch the stretches and what no weight pressing. Okay, so let's do it going the other way. So standing at the front of your mat, and then stand up. So this is now a different vinyasa. Breathe out and down. Okay. So once down in the beginning pose, pausing for a moment. Crown of the head lifting, shoulders relaxing down. And from there, breathe in, spread the arms out like a tree. Lovely. And then take your right foot and place it on your left knee. Okay, but not pushing hard because we don't want to damage that left knee joint. Just sort of positioned there. If you feel a little bit wobbly, you can go and hold on to a wall or a bench. I've got a wall conveniently near and use it. Then the arms go up. Okay, breathe out, back down. Not staying up too long. Okay, breathe in, back up. And straighten and place the foot back down. Breathe out. You're right. Is that tricky? Bit wobbly. Breathe. Okay, this time breathing in, going up and arching back, looking at the heavens. Breathe out, coming down into that forward bend, grabbing hold of the elbows again. Oh, comfortably, knees bent. And placing the left hand down on the ground in front of you, in front, but between the feet, excuse me, in front of the feet, but between. And breathe in, take the other hand up to the heavens. Looking up, the right hand to the heavens. And breathing out, coming down, swapping hands. Breathe in, left hand comes up to the heavens. And breathe out, coming down. Repeat, breathe in. Breathe out and down. Breathe in. Other hand. Breathe out and down. Again, release the hands right down, comfortably bending the knees. The knees are almost, they're really generously bent. Basically, we don't want to hurt the lower back. Okay. And then I'd like you to jump your right leg back as far as you can go. Okay. And place the right knee on the ground and look up. So starting position. Okay. Breathing into that. Okay, lifting up, coming up again. This time breathing out. Pausing, just checking the balance. So you can choose, at the moment I've got my toes tucked under. If I flatten out, does that feel steadier? Maybe, yes, a little. Okay. And then turn the palms upwards. And then take the hands round the back, fingers together, and go into Namaste, behind the back. Okay, lovely. Breathing in, look up. We're actually doing a back arch. Opening the front of the throat and the chest area. Okay, and then breathing out. Release the hands as you come forward, back into the starter position, and look forward. Okay, tuck the toe under at the back, and jump up, left foot back, down into downward facing dog again. Pausing there for a moment. Lifting the tailbone upwards towards the heavens. Comfortable weight through the palms of the hands. Don't worry too much if your heels don't touch the ground. And on the next in-breath, left leg goes up again. As high as it can go, but not tilting the pelvis. Breathe out and down. Pause again in downward facing dog. Okay, breathing in, take the right foot up. At any stage, if you're feeling you've had enough, just come down to the floor, sit, take a breather. You don't have to keep going just because I am. Okay, and down into downward facing dog. And then we come forward into the plank again. Okay, breathing into that, just staying there for a moment. So let's see if our arm strength can hold that. And then knees down, flattening the feet out, forehead to floor, pause, rest, tuck the elbows in. Okay. Okay, so everybody except one person reaches back and holds on to their ankles or their trousers. Okay, good. And then up we go into the bow. So bringing the feet up. Try not to let the knees go out wide. Let the knee, that's it, the legs be parallel. Obvious reasons I have. Looking forward. You can groan if you wish. Very much a groan sort of pose.
Can I cry?
Yes, you can cry. Okay, breathing out, coming down. Let's just rest in the crocodile for a moment. So the fingertips on the shoulders, the legs out wide, the insides of the knees on the floor, holding and rested. So yes, nice Cleopatra rest would be good. Yeah. And breathe. The rests in these yoga flows are really, really nice. Okay, and so normally coming back to the pose where we're about to go into the cobra. So legs parallel, hands just tucked under, and up we go. Okay, so everybody else can keep the pelvis low for this. I'd quite like you to lift up. Okay. Looking up to the heavens. Okay, and then tucking the toes under, push back. Going back into downward facing dog. Okay, so you can see how I'm following the skeleton of the sun salutation, but I'm adding extra poses. And you can add extra poses ad infinitum, kind of fun. So lifting the left leg this time first. Here we go. Okay, and down. And then on the next in-breath, the right leg goes up. Going to keep the pelvis level if you can. And down, back into downward facing dog. Really stretching into the pose. Okay, and then I'd like you to bring your right foot forward, so you can put the left knee on the ground if you want and jump or help the right foot forward. Coming back into starting pose, looking forward, putting the knee on the ground and coming up. Okay, good. Crown of the head lifting. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, opening. Drop the shoulders. Okay, let's have palms down first. And steadying out. So you can either have, as I've got my toes tucked under, or you can flatten the foot. And trying to keep torso upright if possible. Challenging. Okay, breathing in, looking up, arching back again. Into the half moon poses. Chandalasanas, and then coming down, hands on either side of that foot, bending forward more, but obviously not taking the knee over the toes, compromising that knee joint. Looking up, getting a longer stretch here on that side. And then jumping that back foot forward, join the front foot, hanging and holding on to the elbows, opening out the shoulder blades. Bend the knees as though you're sitting on a stool. Okay, coming up, opening up. Back, and then hands together and down. Okay, and standing in the mountain pose again. Nice and steady. A moment of rest. One of my students is making a run for it. Shoulders back, shoulder blades coming together slightly and down towards the base. And can you feel how the body is really working? So sometimes when people say to me, oh, yoga's too slow and kind of doesn't exercise me enough. This is what I kind of teach, just so that they know. You can feel the blood pulsing around the body. The breathing now is beginning to quieten down. We haven't quite finished yet because I have another flow to follow. So I need you to pause first. Might even wait for rogue students to return. Okay, so just shake out the legs and arms for a moment. Walk up and down your mat. Otherwise it just feels like, oh God, too much. Not another one. You could do some steps.
You can do the silliest walk.
Yes, silliest walk.
Young, please.
Yes,
They'll think you've done that.
you will. He'll come back and think that, yeah, you
If
do.
he comes back.
Yes, he comes back. Rotate the hips again. Might be a while, maybe we should wait. Okay, and then are you ready for the next bit?
Not really, but.
No, not really. I'm just going to lean against the wall, have a rest, pause. So, what I would encourage us to do for this next one, obviously be aware of the parts of the body that really don't want to go too deep and protect them. And at the same time, we're going to enjoy the flow. I'm going to try and make it not hanging around sort of thing, more of a lots of poses flowing through proper vinyasa, what we call vinyasa, or commonly called in English the yoga flow. So let's start in the mountain pose.
Right.
Yeah, hand to the mat. Breathe, close the eyes for a moment, shoulder blades coming together, hands hanging nice and heavy, steadying out. So let's see if we can draw some of that stability and strength and immovability into ourselves. Deep, deep, deeply grounded and earthed to the very core of the planet itself. And with that stability and strength, it can be much, much easier to do this flow that's coming up. Breathing, breathing, the breathing just gently, gently softening. Still a sense of lengthening from the crown of the head, the back of the neck opening. Check again that your shoulders aren't hanging onto your arms and that your tailbone is slightly tucked under. Okay, and then breathing in, take the arms out and up, and breathe out down to the heart. Pause there, keep breathing, shoulders back, shoulder blades coming together. Okay, then drop the hands down and breathe in, and we do the back arch, gentle back arch. Yeah, just feeling the stretch. You're allowed to feel a stretch if you can't arch. You can stretch upwards. Lovely. And then we're not going down straight away. What we're going to do is we're going into the eagle. So the eagle is the right foot steps up as though we were going to do Lord Shiva pose, but it goes round the back of the other leg. So might just do it against the wall, because I need to be able to balance as I teach. Okay, like so. It's easy when you've got a wall. And then the knee that's up, the opposite hand goes up. Okay, and then the other hand goes underneath. And if you can, you come forward. Okay. So the full pose is coming right down, but if you're there, just lift the arms up a little. Okay. Arudasana. We're fine with our walls, aren't we? Breathing out, open out, going back into the mountain pose for a moment. So that was the right leg. We have to remember that was the right leg that was doing the work. And then the right leg comes up to tree, breathing in into the tree. So it's like before we start the sun salute, we're adding extra poses here. Nice, steady tree pose. Okay, and breathing out to wide tree, if you can do it. Drop the shoulders. And then breathing out, coming down. Back into the mountain pose. And then bend the knees, coming down. And what if you're, I'll show you sideways on. So you bend the knees and go down. We're going into Utkatasana, the strong pose. So we've managed to sneak in the eagle, the tree, and strong pose before we've even done forward bend. It's really kind of clever. Okay, breathing out, coming forward into the forward bend, arms down to the floor, generously bend the knees, open out the shoulder blades, hold on to the elbows if you like. It's a very nice pose. Nothing to do for a moment. We use this as a rest. And then do sit on an imaginary chair, but with the hands forward. So just be careful of your knees. So my knees, do not want them to come over my toes. I'm having to sit back. And to balance that, I'm having to stretch the hands forward. So it's a difficult crouch, and then back into the forward bend. Okay, we'll do that one more time. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, down. Don't let the knees go too far forwards. It's almost like you're going to fall backwards. And then breathe out, forward bend. And then place the hands on either sides of the feet. Okay, and you lift the left leg up. Again, trying to keep pelvis fairly level. Breathe out, left leg down. Right leg up. And right leg down. And then I'd like you to take the right foot back. Okay, so you're looking into the starter pose. You begin to feel real heat now, I should think. Oh, a bit sweaty, probably. Okay, looking forward. And then walk your front foot forward a bit more. And for women, just move the chest away from the knee so that you're on the inside. Okay. And then lowering down towards that foot. Just be careful of the knee joint. We don't want it doing anything funny. Keep it on the hinge if you can. If you need to, walk the front foot away from you, out towards the left. And you can flatten the back foot as we go down into the pose. But what I don't want is I don't want to compromise knee joints swinging out to the side. I just want it on that hinge joint. Okay. Okay, good. Tuck the back foot under. Take your left foot back and down we go. Into downward facing dog. Head down. Tailbone up in the air. Pausing and breathing. And we won't do the leg lifts on this one because we're doing it on the forward bend. So just lifting the tailbone up into the heavens. And then into the plank. Okay, holding that. If you can't hold it, come down and put the knees on the floor. Don't hold it if it's feeling uncomfortable. And then lowering the knees down and coming into the Sphinx for a moment. Sphinx should be all right because you can lift for most of the belly up off the floor. So Sphinx. And look at the forearms, that they're parallel and the middle fingers parallel. Looking forward, shoulders down, shoulder blades coming together and down. Breathe. Okay, moving the hands back and bringing the tailbone up at the same time. We're going up into the cat by doing table first. Just check that you've got right angles underneath your arms. Okay, and your knees are directly under your hip joint. And the face, The front of the face is parallel to the floor. Pause. And then breathing in, we make the hammock shape. And breathing out, we make the bridge shape. Breathing in, hammock shape. Breathing out, bridge shape. Keep going with the breath, breathing in, up, breathing out, and let the spine ripple from the tailbone all the way up. With neck vertebra into the head, and then ripple it again as you go the other way. So you get a real sense of the spine itself, just each vertebra and disc moving. Really good for the spinal column, as well as for internal organs. And I mean, further on in pregnancy, that hammock shape is just probably a bad idea. If the belly's hanging down too much, just keep it nice and flat. And then staying in one of them could be, I'm staying in the hammock for a moment. Breathing. And then breathe out the opposite way. Bridge. And then bring the big toes together at the back, widen out the knees, coming down into a long swan stretch. Pausing and breathing into that. And then slide the hands back to the ankles, palms upwards. Into child pose, Balasana. Resting there for a moment. Safety, security, calmness, soothing. And just when you think you're going to nod off, go to sleep, bring the hands by the sides of the head, push and come up and bring the knees a bit closer together, placing the hands on the thighs, shoulders back. So we're in this very traditional kneeling pose. If that's really uncomfortable, remember, you can always put blanket underneath the ankles like so, and you can also sit on a blanket or a block like so. So don't sit in agony if it's too awful, if it's absolutely excruciating coming up. So upright kneeling, pausing there for a moment. So then tucking the toes under, and we're coming up into a forward bend. Elbow goes up. Forward bend, you can hold on to the shins. You can touch the floor if you want, but keep the knees generously bent, just to protect the lower back. And then again, sitting on an imaginary stool, let's go into Utkatasana, the really strong pose. Looking through past the palms into the heavens. And then straightening the legs, coming up, looking up, and then arching back a little, not too much. And then bring the palms together and breathe out, coming down. Breathing in, breathing out, lowering the hands to the sides. Okay, so one of the main reasons for doing that is to remind you that you can follow the skeleton of the Surya Namaskar, and you can include poses as you like. So I wasn't necessarily teaching you to do that particular yoga flow. Because all yoga teachers, once you know lots of poses, just think, what else could I do while I'm standing? What else could I do while I'm down in this kneeling pose? What else could I do from here? And see if, for fun, sometimes I see if I can add 3 in at every stage. Squeeze 3 other yoga poses in, different ones if I can, before I come up and out, do the other side. So to kind of encourage you to be creative and enjoy. So the good news is now we can come down to seated. So if you want to get the cushion on the block, let's have a rest by simply seated. I'm just leaning against the wall. It's nice and cool, and it's cooling me down. It's really fun. Nice. Okay, comfortably seated, bring the toes towards you.
Or what? Oh,
You want this one?
oh, you're all right.
You're all right though. Okay, so just pausing and resting there. Oh, I found I can just fit under this piece of wood. If I was any taller at the uncomfortable. Okay, and then once you brought the toes towards you, just let them relax. The hands are resting palm upon palm. I think I've got the easy, because I'm leaning against a wall. It's like lying on a sofa. You're all right though, you're leaning against the bench. Well, sorry guys, but I could stay here for a very long time. Very nice. Very easy. Okay, better not though. To experience what you're experiencing. Okay, so getting a sense of this time the sitting bones going deep into the earth. The legs hopefully parallel to each other. Okay, we're going to do some side stretches from there, so the hands out to the sides. And remember, just go over as you feel comfortable. So hands up, slide down. See if you can get to the forearm and over. Hopefully both buttocks continue to touch the ground. Yeah. Okay, coming up. Same the other way. Okay, coming up. Lovely, breathe out and down. So even the Sun Salute variation that I did, we didn't have a lot of side stretching and we didn't have a lot of twist. We managed to squeeze in one twist. You could have put in more twist. You could put in a warrior with a twist in it as well. Well, if you have thought of it. So what I'd like to do now is to do a twist. Let's do it easy. Well, it might not be easy for you. If it's not easy to sit cross-legged, do it with the legs straight. But I'm sitting cross-legged with my right leg on the outside. Okay. Or sit with the legs straight. And then shoulders back. And the front chest area open. Pausing for a moment. Okay, so let's visualize the spine. Right from the tailbone. It's a slightly S-shaped spine. But let's think of the crown of the head actually lifting each vertebra upwards, upwards, upwards. Okay, and on the next in-breath, upwards, and take the left hand to the right knee. Okay, yeah. And then take the right hand round back. Okay. Straighten up. On the next out breath, turn from the base of the torso, not a lot of turning going on there, but a little. And then breathing in, lengthening up some more. And breathe out, turning some more. Breathing in, lengthening up some more. Breathing out, turning some more. So again, only turn as much as you feel comfortable. And if you don't want to turn too much around the belly area, at least you can turn the neck area. So that's good for the neck. That's very nice. And technically, the shoulders are level. Breathe into that. Okay, breathing out, coming around to the front. Well done. So there, I did notice one or two people had very uneven shoulders. That's a bit exaggerated, but something like that. What else did I notice? Ah, there was a chin going up. Just so. Oh, even doing that, there's sort of quick spin actually. Shouldn't demonstrate what not to do. And then if you're sitting cross-legged, swap the feet over. And then breathe in, lengthen from the crown of the head. Take the right hands to the left knee. Take the left hand around the back. Lovely. And then breathe in, crown of the head lifting. Drop the shoulders, breathe out, turning. Breathe in, lifting. And breathe out, turning. And just keep doing that until you feel comfortably at your maximum stretch. So why do we do twists? Well, the two major reasons are we're trying to ensure that the discs of the spine actually get used to moving round in this twist-like shape, because we don't want to get to a stage where we can't look behind us when we're reversing, for example, in the car, or we can't suddenly turn without causing ourselves enormous amount of harm. We want to keep this ability to turn nice and flexible, the whole spine flexible in this way. But also we do it for the internal organs. There's a long list of benefits, but I think those are the two major ones. There's lovely work going on in the digestive areas we twist. Across the colon. And work on the kidneys at the back. And even the heart and lung area in the chest. Okay, and then when it's about the same amount of time, breathing out, coming back. And if you can, put your soles of your feet together, and you can do it with your soles of your feet far away if you like, or you can bring them in close. Okay, just pulling back on your sitting muscles. Yeah. And then front of the head lifting, trying to bring the knees further down if you can. So a little bit of bouncing, only if it feels comfortable. Okay, so this is a good one to practice every day if you're pregnant. Twice a day, in fact. Yes. Okay, and then just push that little bit extra down. So you can always push your knees down, but don't let anybody else push your knees down, because that would be dangerous. Though I have seen it happen. In the olden days, teachers get a bit too enthusiastic. Okay. And then breathing in, look up. And breathing out, see if you can just go a little bit forward, which is kind of hard. And then place the forehead on the floor. I don't think I can do that. I might be able to go down a little bit further. Just slowly, slowly lengthening the spine. And we can visualize the forehead on the floor, on the feet. But if there's any too much pain anywhere, do be careful and ease out a little bit. I was getting a bit of pain right on the front of that knee joint, which is interesting because it is in a hinge joint and it shouldn't complain. Okay, breathing in, coming up, and then stretching the legs out in front of you like so. I'm putting the hands behind you and just resting back as though we were, I don't know, summer's day, watching the birds and the clouds going by. Relax. So some gentle, gentle beginnings of back arch. And then see where your hands feel comfy. Some people like to put their fingers facing forward. Some like to put their fingers facing back, some out to the side. Personally, I quite like being on my fists and point the toes, parallel legs, and up into the reverse plank. Breathing into that. Lovely. So trying to get the pelvis up a little bit more. It's really good. Okay, breathing out, coming down. And then, thank goodness, just coming down to rest with the knees bent. And take the feet out further wider apart, okay, and then bring the knees together. Pause and rest, bring the chin towards the chest a bit more. Oh, that was a nice moment here where we don't have to do anything at all, just allow the breathing to quieten down. So you might think, well, why do we do these sannyasas then when it's so good to do a pose and stay in the pose and just be in the pose? Well, the vinyasas are for getting a flow of energy moving through the body. So it's really good this time of year, autumn going into winter. There's an awful lot of colds and flus and aches and pains going around. And I'm just trying to cleanse, purify that system so it strengthens the immune system. And doing strong work like this helps to boost the system. Also, it really, really kind of is a bit of a workout. So it's just checking through your muscles, joints, tendons, ligaments, seeing where you're strong, seeing where you're weak. And also increasing your ability to keep going, your stamina. So it's different from staying in the pose. It's not wrong, but it's different. Using yoga for a different reason. And it can be very meditative as well. Once you get the swing of going from one pose, breathing out into the next pose, breathing in into the next pose. And somewhere on YouTube, I forget the person's name, but there's a woman a bit older than me who all through lockdown did, I think it was about 10 minutes of yoga poses, moving breath to music. So all there is video of her and the music, and she's just moving with the breath from one pose to the other. And that was her practice every morning. Okay, and then could you walk the feet towards each other so that the soles of the feet can join together and the knees going out wide. So we're now in the cobbler but lying down. Again, chin to chest. And just check, does that feel comfortable? Sometimes it can feel a little bit uncomfortable in the sacroiliac joints. And if you're pregnant, those sacroiliac joints on the front, the symphysis pubis joint, can get a little bit too relaxed because it's aiming to open up the pelvis to give space for the baby to come and drop down and out. And so it's quite worth noting in this lying down cobbler, how are those back joints, those sacroiliac joints in the back of the pelvis a little dimply where your sacroiliac joint joins the rest of the pelvis for this dimple. How does that feel? And you can just gently rock from side to side, which gives it a little massage, checking on how it's doing. And for some women while they're pregnant, unfortunately, the hormone that helps to loosen those joints gets a little bit too excited, and there's too much of it, and the joints separate, and it's very painful. Okay, and then bringing the knees back up together. Okay, and then all I'd like you to do is take the hands out from the shoulders, palms upwards. And breathing out, take the knees down to the left and look to the right. So this is the sort of work we normally do at the beginning of the class, and I've just turned it round, so we're doing it at the end now as we're slowly quieting it down. So then the knees the other way and look the opposite way. So on each in-breath, the knees are coming up. And on each out-breath, the knees go one way and look the other way. And then breathing in, coming up. And breathing out, going down the other way. And that should feel nice and comfortable just now. Continue doing it to your own breathing rhythm. And then I'd like you to stay down the next time you're down, stay down on that side, looking the other way. And just let the body be breathed in that pose. So it's a really lovely, gentle twist. At the same time, the heart area is nice and open. Okay, breathing in, take the knees up to the heavens. Breathe out, go down the other side, pause, and just rest there, looking the opposite way. See if you can let the shoulders, the torso sink into the earth. See if you can let the arms themselves get heavy, sink into the earth. Okay, and then breathing in, bringing the knees up. Then I'd like us all to go down to the left side. Simultaneously, as you roll over onto your left side, tuck your hands underneath your head. So it's almost like fetal position, and we're just resting and pausing. If you can reach a cushion, put a cushion nearby, and go for it. Put a cushion underneath your head, blanket, something really comfy. Pause. And it seems such a shame to come out of this. So if you're watching on video, I would say stay there. Just, you know, if you don't reach the computer or your phone, just press pause and stay there for a while. And then go into something like legs up the wall or lying in Shavasana for final relaxation for 5 or 6 minutes. But here in the class, we're going to just push with the hands to come up. And what I would like you to do is I'd like you to think of doing the most relaxing, whatever's the most relaxing end of session pose. It might be your feet on the bench, lying down. It might be your legs up the wall. Okay, so there's a wall there, a wall there. Even legs up the piano if it doesn't move. And the reason why legs up are so good, I definitely recommend legs up because it's so beneficial to just get that. They're taking so much strain at the moment, and so put them up. So everybody find their socks and their sweaters. Make sure they're comfy. I'll start closing lights. I'll also turn the video off, the recording off. Hope you enjoyed that.